Well, Bennett Kessler filed this report. At the deadline last Friday, 5 people had signed up to run for 2 seats on the Bishop City Council. Candidates include the 2 incumbents and 3 challengers. Councilman Keith Glidewell will seek re-election, and Mayor Jim Ellis will also run again. Challenging them are former Bishop Police Chief Joe Pexi, co-owner of Sage to Summit Karen Schwartz, and acupuncturist Howard Wu. Now, some of the election issues expected to come up include the Bishop City Council's one-time look at contracting out for law enforcement and getting rid of the Bishop Police Department, the handling of selection of a city administrator, and lack of tangible progress toward on-the-ground economic development. Now, Bishop City officials had also talked about floating a transaction and use tax on the ballot to bring in additional revenue. There has also been talk of a Tourism Business Improvement District fee for Bishop. Mammoth Lakes approved that kind of assessment on lodging, restaurant, and retail stores to pay for marketing and other uses. These issues, too, may be part of election debate. Now, this race will take place in the November 4th general election. Elected council people will officially be sworn in January 1st. Current and future councils are expected to continue meeting in budget workshops to search for ways to save money and generate revenue. Now, although the city currently enjoys a balanced budget, officials say they want to look to the future to make sure operations are stable. And Inyo County Clerk Cami Foote announced that the filing period has been extended until this Wednesday, August 13th at 5 p.m. for the governing board member positions for the upcoming election for the Bishop Big Pine, Death Valley, and Lone Pine Unified School Districts and the Inyo Mono Resource Conservation District. Forms are available at district offices or at the office of the county clerk. If you would like some more information, you can contact 760-878-0224 and see the new website, elections.inyocounty.us. Well, Bennett Kessler filed this story. It's no secret that Inyo County has a nearly $2 million budget shortfall. The unknown remains how they will make up that lack of money. When the Inyo County Board of Supervisors meet Tuesday, County Administrator Kevin Caruncio will talk about this issue. Now, agenda item number 20, immediately after the consent agenda, says the administrator will talk about the status of the fiscal year 2014-2015 CAO recommended budget, provide options for the board's consideration, and seek direction from the board for completing the CAO recommended budget. Now, there are no details provided in the agenda packet for this item. That item does say, quote, because we are in the midst of budget preparation, fiscal landscape and associated items are changing daily, and no presentation materials are included with this agenda request form, end quote. Now, the item does go on to say that, quote, the presentation materials will consist of the most up-to-date budget picture and numbers as of Monday, August 11th, end quote. Inyo County department heads participated in an exercise called Service Redesign to find ways to cut expenses and often services. Now, at last word, that effort had reportedly saved close to $600,000. Discussions have taken place that would involve cuts to senior programs, library and museum services, and other public services. Landfill services have already been cut and fees increased. Now, it is expected that more cuts and possibly layoffs will be proposed to balance the shaky Inyo County budget. And Bennett Kessler also filed this story. With 3 drought years in a row and fire danger very high, what can counties in the Sierra Nevada area do? Well, the Sierra County supervisors believe the 22 counties in question should pull together and ask the state and federal governments for help with fire protection and fuel reduction. The Mono County Board of Supervisors will consider Sierra County supervisors' ideas on Tuesday. Now, the Sierra County Board sent a letter to affected counties asking for them to pass resolutions proclaiming a local state of emergency based on fire severity conditions and buildup of fuels. They also suggest involving other agencies and a process similar to past to a past presidential forum created when the Tahoe area experienced this kind of fire danger in 1997. The Sierra County Board wants an action plan supported by the 11 Sierra Nevada area counties and wants Mono County to support the campaign. For whatever reason, this letter does not appear on the Inyo County Board agenda for this week. Now, the Sierra County Board says a resolution declaring a local state of emergency by the 22 counties would be the, quote, beginning of a campaign to develop a long-term sustainable program to reduce wildland fire severity conditions of public and private lands, end quote. Now, a report by this board refers to the devastating rim fire last year that destroyed 400 square miles in Yosemite National Park. The report also says that the regional forester has failed to meet a goal of treating 500,000 acres annually in California for restoration and reduction of fuels. Now, it's up to the Mono County Board of Supervisors to respond to the requests. Well, last Wednesday at about 6 p.m. during what was described as routine patrol, an Inyo County Sheriff's deputy and tribal police officer spotted Ray Bencoma, a 39-year-old man from Bishop who was wanted in 2 prior domestic violence incidents. Now, a press release from the Inyo County Sheriff's Office states that once Bencoma realized he had been seen, he darted into a residence in the 400 block of Paha Lane. The Inyo County SED team, which consists of members of the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, Bishop Police Department, and Inyo County District Attorney's Office, arrived. However, Bencoma refused to come out. Now, after receiving a signed warrant, pepper spray was introduced into the residence. Bencoma was then taken into custody and transported to the Inyo County Jail in Independence, where he was being held on an $80,000 bail. Now, the press release states that throughout the incident, 3 other people were arrested for resisting and obstructing. Evelyn Kennedy, a 45-year-old Bishop woman, Ariel Stone, a 23-year-old Bishop woman, and a 17-year-old female juvenile who was charged, then released to a responsible adult. We'll be back with more news.